This is the Yay or Nay Show with Alex C. A sports show for sports fans by a sports fan. And now, here is Alex C.
Okay, we got a few things to get to, especially considering the NBA playoffs are here. Obviously, that's like the number one topic going on right now. Yesterday, we had the play-in tournament begin, and of course, the first game that happened was the Brooklyn Nets and the Cleveland Cavaliers. I said that Brooklyn would win, and they did, in fact, win. Cleveland now awaits the winner of today's game between Atlanta and Charlotte. That game will take place on Friday, and then the winner of that game will have to go up against the number one ranked Miami Heat. And then, of course, because the Clippers lost to Minnesota, Minnesota goes on to play Memphis, and the Clippers will await the winner of tonight's game between the New Orleans Pelicans and the San Antonio Spurs. The winner of that game, which also takes place on Friday, will then battle the Phoenix Suns, the number one seed in the West. Now, the other playoffs are set. You've got Dallas versus Utah, Golden State versus Denver. And then, of course, as I stated, you have Memphis against Minnesota. And then, of course, in the East, you have Philadelphia and Toronto. You have Milwaukee and Chicago. You have Boston and Brooklyn. Now that that's set, we are only waiting to find out who's going to win Friday's games, to find out who's going to battle the two number one seeds, Phoenix in the West and Miami in the East. But let's talk a little bit about the series. Let's pick our winners here. So yesterday, obviously, I was 1 for 2 because, again, I took Brooklyn. They won. I took the Clippers. They lost. In the series, however, and I'm going to write them down as I do them so I don't forget, Dallas and Utah, I am going to take the Dallas Mavericks over Utah. I think Dallas is going to beat them for a lot of reasons. Number one, they're just faster. They're quicker, higher shooting percentage. They're on a roll at the right time of the season. I just see Dallas getting past Utah. Utah, to me, is going backwards. They got a lot of dissension between their players. A lot of reports are out there that a few of the players after the season know that they're not going to be there. There's one player who's already got their name linked to the LA Lakers. So Utah looks like it's a team that's going to break apart. I think you're going to see that in this series against Dallas. I think Dallas is going to take advantage of it, and Dallas is going to win this series. Golden State and Denver. I'm not a Golden State fan. I don't believe in them. They're inconsistent. They're a lot slower than they've ever been. They're nowhere near as quick as they've ever been. They're not as high-powered or as quick of a scoring offense as they've been in the past. They're a shell of themselves, to be real. Truth is it's the West just isn't ready to be that competitive. A lot of these teams are 1 or 2 years away from truly being competitive and knocking the Phoenix Suns down from their number one perch. But even with that being said, I'm going to say that Jokic can lead Denver past Golden State. So I think Denver will, in fact, get past Golden State. But again, my reasons are because Golden State's a shell of themselves. I don't believe in them. Steph Curry, in all honesty, I think he's regressing. He's already starting to show his age. He's nowhere near the skill set that we were watching a couple of years ago. He's regressing. I'm willing to say what the national sports media won't say about Steph Curry. They won't badmouth him because, again, they don't want to lose access to the locker rooms. They don't want to lose access to the pre- and post-game pressers. They don't want to lose access to him or any player in general, period. They just don't normally typically say anything bad about players because they're afraid of losing access to these players, the coaches, and the organizations. Memphis and Minnesota. What I have seen from Minnesota is they're young, they're exciting, they're definitely a couple of more players. They need another big, I think, personally, and they need a three-point shooter who is dynamic, who can really nail it to the wall consistently and constantly. I see them being inconsistent. I see them being too young, too inexperienced. Foul trouble comes to them easy because, again, they're inexperienced. That's going to hurt them. They need a true veteran three-point threat. And I think they need another big in the middle. And they're definitely a couple of years away from being a true contender. But they're young, they're fun, they're exciting. They're going to give some good games to Memphis, but Memphis is going to win this series. Now, I'm not going to go all the way through and walk us into the NBA Finals. I am simply going to go series by series. And again, Memphis is who I see winning this one. So I have Dallas winning over Utah. I have Denver upsetting Golden State, although I really don't think it's an upset, but national media will try to tell you it is. But I have Denver upsetting Golden State. And then I have Memphis walking over Minnesota. Again, Minnesota's going to be young. They're going to be exciting. They're going to be fun. But they're nowhere near the caliber of Memphis. And I think Memphis is going to walk away with that one probably, in a quick 5-game set. Moving over to the East, Philadelphia and Toronto. It's a coin toss. Look, remember, James Harden relies on fouls. He relies on getting to the free throw line, gets a lot of those calls in the regular season, and then we get to the postseason, the whistles aren't as heavy. And the next thing you know, he's whining, he's complaining, his head's not in the game because he's trying to get those calls. He's not getting them. Without getting to the foul line, that is a good portion of his scoring. And we all know what's happened in seasons past. He doesn't get there. And I think that he's already playing bad as it is. Now you're going to add to the fact that they're going to be lighter on the whistle, the referees, that is, in regards to how they're going to call these games. He's not going to get all the calls to go his way. Joel Embiid is going to shoulder a lot of the load for Philadelphia. Toronto's not a great team, though. Do not misinterpret what I'm saying. They're not a great team. They're just not. They're good, but they're not great. But they're not good enough to beat Philadelphia. Even with Joel Embiid carrying the load, I don't see a roster on Toronto that makes me say, ooh, you have to be worried about him. So it'll be a little bit of a nip and tuck, but I'm going to go ahead and give the victory to Philadelphia, getting past Toronto. So moving on to the next series, we have the Milwaukee Bucks, the alleged defending champs. And again, I've said it once, I've said it a million times. That victory last season was a farce. It wasn't real. There's an asterisk next to it. Milwaukee, to me, has the most pressure to win, and they have the most to prove. Chicago, however, is a team that has went on cold stints repeatedly since the All-Star break. They're not very consistent. No Lonzo Ball. So, I don't think Milwaukee, in all honesty, is going to have a tough time getting past Chicago. So without really going in depth into this one, I'm going to take Milwaukee to get past Chicago. I don't think it's going to be that difficult, to be honest. Boston and Brooklyn, I'm taking Brooklyn all day. I think last night proved what I said correctly. Kyrie and AD on their own can carry the load. They are the dynamic duo. They can do it. They can get it done. They showed it yesterday. They pretty much, in all honesty, manhandled Cleveland. Kyrie Irving was through the roof, ultra exciting. He is who we've always thought he was, and I personally don't think he got enough credit when he played with LeBron in Cleveland, and I don't blame him for getting upset and leaving Cleveland to go to Boston because, again, he wasn't getting enough the credit for the dynamic superstar that he is, and I think that he's going to show it in this series against Boston. So Brooklyn is going to get past Boston. And those are my predictions for what is going to happen. And again, we won't be able to talk about Friday's games because we got to see who's going to win tonight's games. But if we want to talk about tonight's games really quickly, I already made these predictions yesterday. So I will reiterate what I told you yesterday, which is that the New Orleans Pelicans will get past San Antonio today. And I have Atlanta getting past Charlotte. Charlotte's fun. They're exciting, but there's just something, and I'll probably have to really pay attention to today's game because I haven't seen a whole lot of Charlotte games. I've seen a few, but not a lot, to be honest, but they're missing something. I'm going to have to really pay attention to today's game to see what I find that they're missing, but there's something that's just not there for Charlotte, and I don't see them having enough to get past Atlanta. I think Atlanta is going to capture a little bit of that magic that they had last season. I don't think it's going to be the kind of thunder that they had last season. However, I don't think they're going to make the noise that they made last season, but I think they have more than enough magic in them to get past Charlotte. So it should be Cleveland versus Atlanta on Friday. And then in the West, it should be the LA Clippers going up against the New Orleans Pelicans. And then we'll talk about the winners of those games if, in fact, those matchups do transpire. Let's flip really quickly to baseball. Baseball's got a lot to talk about, a lot of cool things Here's a cool story that I saw. I normally don't do these type of stories, but I thought this was kind of cool. So I thought, what the heck? Let's talk about it. Hopefully I'm going to pronounce this name correctly. If I don't, I apologize. Let me put that up there up front. Alyssa Nakin was hard at work in the batting cage, just a few steps from the dugout, when suddenly the call came. The San Francisco Giants needed her to coach at first base. She quickly pulled off her sweatshirt, grabbed her number 92 jersey, and found a bright orange batting helmet. A few minutes later, Nakin made Major League history as the first woman to coach on the field in a regular season game when she took her spot Tuesday night in a 13-2 win over the San Diego Padres. So history was made. San Francisco Giants, Alyssa Nakin, the first woman to coach on the field in a regular season game. Sticking with baseball, here's another story right here. The San Francisco Giants coach Antoine Richardson, whose ejection Tuesday led to Alyssa Nakin's historic coaching debut, which, by the way, is why she ended up on the field and how she ended up coaching. He accused San Diego Padres coach Mike Shildt of yelling an expletive at him that reeked undertones of racism. Richardson, who was black, provided a lengthy explanation for his third inning ejection after San Francisco's 13-2 victory over San Diego. The Giants' first base coach said the incident started when Shildt, who is the Padres' third base coach, approached San Francisco's dugout. After a brief exchange between the coaches, Richardson said Shildt, who is white, yelled, "You need to control that MFer," to the Giants' dugout, which prompted Richardson's reaction and ultimately his ejection by umpire Greg Gibson. Shildt yelled, "You need to control that MFer," Richardson told reporters. "At that point in time, I went to the top step and said, 'Excuse me,' because I couldn't believe what I heard. At that point in time, Gibson, the crew chief, decided to toss me from the game. I say this because his words were disproportionately unwarranted and reeked undertones of racism when he referred to me as that MFer, as if I was to be controlled or a piece of property or enslaved. I think it's just really important we understand what happened tonight." And the second part that's equally disappointing is that me being tossed by that umpire empowers this coach to continue to have conversations like that with people like me, and that's really unfortunate. That's what happened tonight. Richardson said he did not curse or use any vulgar language at any point during the incident, but was told he was ejected for instigating. So, again, take it how you want to, whether you believe it is or isn't racial undertones. That's what took place in the big game last night between San Francisco Giants and the San Diego Padres. Let's stay with baseball really quickly. We're going to get back to basketball. I got a couple of things to talk about in regards to the NBA, but the LA Dodgers, Trevor Bauer. Let's talk about him really quickly. So he has had his administrative leave extended by Major League Baseball and the Players Association through April 22nd. Sources confirmed to the Four-Letter Network. He was placed on 7 days paid leave last July 2nd under the union and MLB's joint domestic violence and sexual assault policy after a Southern California woman said he choked her into unconsciousness, punched her repeatedly, and had anal sex with her without her consent during 2 sexual encounters earlier last year. MLB and the union have since agreed to multiple extensions of the administrative leave. Bauer has not pitched since June 29th of 2021. He had a record of 8-2 and a 2.59 ERA in 17 appearances in his first season with the Dodgers. He signed a 3-year, $102 million contract last offseason and was paid his $28 million salary for the 2021 season. Los Angeles prosecutors declined to pursue assault and domestic violence charges against Bauer in February. And after the prosecutor's decision, Bauer vehemently denied in a 7-minute video posted on YouTube that he abused the woman. He said that the two engaged in rough sex at her suggestion and followed guidelines they agreed to in advance. He said each encounter ended with them joking and her spending the night. The four-letter network does not typically identify people who say that they have been victims of sexual assault. After winning his first Cy Young Award with the Cincinnati Reds in 2020, Bauer agreed to a $102 million three-year contract to join his hometown Dodgers. So it looks like he will not be back until at the earliest, as far as availability goes, April 22nd. Dodgers, Twins. Speaking of the Dodgers, sticking with the Dodgers. How funny is this, the way these stories are working out today? There was a game last night between the Minnesota Twins and the Dodgers. The Dodgers blanked the Twins 7-0, but let's talk about it because there's something special that happened last night, and I guarantee there are people on two sides of the fence in regards to how this played out, and here's what I'm talking about. So the Dodgers pulled Kershaw after a perfect 7-inning, one-hit win. Clayton Kershaw took a perfect game through 7 innings for the LA Dodgers in his season debut before being pulled, dominating the Minnesota Twins with 13 strikeouts and 21 batters during a 7-0 victory Wednesday. Now, there are a lot of people who would tell you that Kershaw should have finished out the game, that it was his right to do so if he wanted to. Now, I don't know if he wanted to. I don't know if there was any questions in regards to him wanting to stay in versus getting pulled out. A lot of times pitchers like to stay in when they're in situations like that. Very few times, but it does happen. There are times where the pitcher does want to get pulled, and they're okay with getting pulled because they want to save themselves because, we're in the young part of the season. It's a long season, 162 games. You might want to just save your arm as much as you can. And once you're insured a victory the way that they were, why not pull them out? And there's going to be people with that school of thought, and there's going to be people, again, that think that, traditionally those pitchers stay in and they try to complete the game and, get a no-no if they can. If nothing else, they pitch a shutout. But again, I don't know that there's a controversy, but I thought it was kind of interesting, again, because a lot of times, more often than not, it has always been my experience as a baseball fan where the pitcher stays in the lineup and continues, again, even if they don't have a no-no, they continue to pitch the shutout, or at least, if nothing else, they finish 8 innings and let the closer come in and finish the 9th. Again, and that's traditionally what is done when they're trying to, minimize the usage of the arm because, again, you don't want anybody to get injured. You want them to be available throughout the entire season. My understanding, his pitch count was somewhere about 70, which is really dang good. But again, I can go with either philosophy, my personal thoughts, to tell you the truth. But it is what it is. It's the way it goes. But I just thought that, that's a pretty good topic. I think I'm going to throw that up on the Twitter page at Yay or Nay Podcast, the address of the Twitter page, and ask the question, do you think they should have left him in, or do you agree with them pulling him? I'm going to put that up on the at Yay or Nay Podcast Twitter page. I got a couple of polls that should be wrapping up today, by the way. I'll have results on those for you tomorrow. I actually thought they would be wrapped up before we started today's podcast, but in fact, that did not happen. So I will have a couple of Twitter poll results for you tomorrow. But again, the question that's going to be up on the Twitter page today, do you think they should have left Clayton Kershaw in considering he was pitching a shutout in the 7th inning? Or do you agree with them pulling him out? I'm going to put that up there. Again, go answer the question. As soon as the poll is completed, I will give you the results. Now, the NBA 25 under 25 ranking, I'm going to give you the rankings according to the four-letter network. We're going to go from number 25 to number 1. So starting with number 25, they got Jaren Jackson Jr. Here is what they have to say about him. First of all, he's only 22.6 years old. His stats are 16.3 points per game, 5.8 rebounds, and he is definitely a superstar in the making. Fully healthy after the 2020 knee surgery, Jackson has grown into the defense force the Grizzlies imagined when they drafted him number 4 overall in 2018. Jackson has built a strong case for Defensive Player of the Year with his ability to both protect the rim. He led the league in blocks per game and block rate and chased smaller opponents on the perimeter at the power forward position. Number 24, Tyrese Maxey, point guard for the Philadelphia 76ers. He's 21.4 years of age. He's got 17.5 points per game, 4.3 average well, I don't know, 4.3 APG, sorry, and he's got a 42.7 3-point percentage. The 21-year-old makes his 25 under 25 debut as one of the most improved young guards in the NBA. Maxey is leading the 76ers in total minutes thanks to his nonstop energy. He has improved his 3-point percentage from 30.4 as a rookie to 42.7 this season, tops on a Philly squad that ranks 7th in the NBA in 3-point accuracy. John Collins, power forward for the Atlanta Hawks. He's 24.6 years of age. He has 16.2 points per game. He has 7.8 RPG and 52.6 free field goal percentage. Sorry, sometimes I can't speak English. Here's what they say about him. Like his teammate Young, Collins adapted quickly during his first playoff run, proving capable of defending a variety of opposing power forwards. That two-way play came at a cost to Collins' offense, which has been trending the wrong direction. Number 22, De'Aaron Fox, point guard, Sacramento Kings. He's 24.3 years of age. He's got 23.2 points per game, 3.9 RPG. And if we were ranking the under 25 list on games played after the All-Star break, Fox would be back in the top 10. In the 11 games since mid-February, Fox averaged 29.3 points and 7.5 assists. Last year, he averaged 28.5 points and 6.6 assists after the break. Number 21, you got Jalen Green with the Houston Rockets. He's 20.2 years of age. He's averaging 17.3 points per game. Green is among 4 members of the 2021 rookie class to make the cut. Green showed exactly why he was the number 2 pick in the draft over his last 10 games, averaging 26.1 points on 54% from 2 and 41% from 3, highlighted by the type of pull-up threes and ferocious dunks you typically see from NBA All-Stars. Number 20, Tyler Herro, point guard for the Miami Heat. He's 22 years of age. He's averaging 20.7 points per game. Do not let Harrow's 6-man role fool you. Despite being the only player on the 25 under 25 list who has not started more than 15 games, Harrow averaged starter minutes at 32.7 this season. DeAndre Ayton, the center for the Phoenix Suns, he is 23.7 years of age. He's averaging 17.2 points per game. And after an 8.3 rebound game against the Knicks in early March, Ayton was on the verge of being left off the 25 under 25 team. However, since that lackluster effort, the center has averaged 19.6 points and 11.5 rebounds. Coming in at number 18, Jarrett Allen, center for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's 24 years of age, averaging 16.1 points per game. Effective in a supporting role as a rim runner with the Brooklyn Nets, Allen blossomed into an all-star during his first full year in Cleveland. He became a bigger part of the offense thanks to his partnership with Garland, averaging a career-high 16.1 points per game on nearly 68% shooting. Number 17, you got Desmond Bane, small guard with the Memphis Grizzlies. He is 23.8 years of age. He is averaging 18.2 points per game. Bane makes his 25 under 25 debut, ranking the 4th highest among players from his class after boosting his scoring average from 8.9 to 18.2 points while evolving into a true weapon from 3. He's the only player in the NBA making at least 3 threes per game at a clip of over 42%. Number 16, you got Miles Bridges, small forward with the Charlotte Hornets. He's 24.1 years of age. He's averaging 20.2 points per game. Bridges has taken a leap in his development, posting career highs in points plus 7.6 from a year ago with 9 30-point games, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. After the All-Star break, Bridges averages 21.2 points on 52% shooting and 40% from deep. Coming in at number 15, Evan Mobley, center for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He is 20.8 years of age. He's averaging 15 points a game. The likely rookie of the year, Mobley lands in the top 15 and 11th on my personal rankings. Thanks to his defensive versatility and offensive skill level, the 20-year-old is already one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA at 7 feet tall with a 7'5" wingspan and held opponents to the 3rd lowest field goal percentage in the NBA on shots within 6 feet. Number 14, Tyrese Halliburton, Point guard for the Indiana Pacers. He is 22.1 years of age. He is averaging 15.3 points per game. Halliburton's brief tenure in Indiana since the trade deadline is an indication that the Pacers got a cornerstone player. In the 24 games since he was acquired from the Kings, Halliburton averaged 17.4 points, 9.6 assists, 49.5% shooting from the field, and 42% from deep. Coming in at number 13, Scotty Barnes, small forward for the Toronto Raptors. He's averaging 15.3 points per game. He is 20.7 years of age. Barnes is the definition of positionless basketball as a 6'7" savant who can defend 1 through 5 in a pinch, bring the ball up the floor like a point guard, play out of the short roll like a center, and do pretty close to everything in between, while at times looking like a mini Giannis Antetokounmpo. Coming in at number 12, Brandon Ingram, small forward for the New Orleans Pelicans. He is 24.6 years of age. He's averaging 22.7 points per game. Zion's absence forced Ingram to take on more shot creation than ever before. Both his 29% usage rate and 5.9 assists per 36 minutes were new career highs. Ingram's efficiency strained a bit under the load, largely because he made just 33% of his threes after being north of 38% his first 2 seasons in New Orleans. Coming in at number 11, you got Anthony Edwards, point guard for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He is 20.7 years of age. He's averaging 21.3 points per game, and he played lights out basketball yesterday in the game against the Clippers. In terms of sheer ability, when he's at his best, you could make an argument Edwards belongs in our top 5. Few players in the NBA can get a bucket with sheer burst, force, and bounce, or beat you with the skill, averaging 21.3 points on 52% from 2 and 36% from 3 at just 20 years old on a play-in team. Edwards has proved he can do both with a type of space creation you rarely see from players his age. Coming in at number 10, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, point guard for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He is 23.8 years of age. He's averaging 24.5 points per game. Despite regressing from 42% beyond the arc in 2020 to 30% this season, Gilgeous-Alexander averaged a career-high 24.5 points per game without sacrificing his playmaking before being shut down by ankle soreness in late March. Number 9, Darius Garland, point guard for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He is 22.2 years of age, and he was averaging 21.7 points per game. Now, Garland was named to his first All-Star team and has played a lead role in the Cavaliers, doubling their win total from the past 2 seasons since March 1st. Garland averaged 25.2 points and 10.8 assists, and is one of 2 players, Trae Young the other, who averaged 25 points and 10 assists during that span. Number 8, Bam Adebayo, the center for the Miami Heat. He is 24.7 years of age. He averaged 19.1 points per game. One of the more versatile players in the NBA. Adebayo has anchored a Heat defense that has an average ranking of 8 in defense efficiency over the past 5 seasons. Number 7, and I disagree with this one wholeheartedly. Don't understand it. Power forward Zion Williamson. There's no player on this list more challenging to rank than Zion in the wake of a regular season loss to a 5th metatarsal fracture suffered last summer. It's easy to forget how dominant Williamson was during a healthy 2021 season when he averaged 27 points per game, 7.2 rebounds per game, and he was making 62% of his 2-point attempts and was voted an all-star reserve by coaches. Look, he didn't play this year. I don't think he should be on this list. I'm not the one who made the list. Remember, it's the 4-letter network's list. Number 6, Cade Cunningham, point guard for the Detroit Pistons. His age is 20.5 years of age. He has averaged 17.4 points per game. Although unlikely to win Rookie of the Year honors after a slow start, Cunningham was our unanimous choice for top rookie on this list, landing ahead of several established All-Stars. As Bobby noted on his Pistons offseason guide, Cunningham was only the 6th rookie since the merger to average 25-5 after the All-Star break, regularly going toe-to-toe with the NBA's elite. Coming in at number 5, LaMelo Ball, point guard for the Charlotte Hornets. He's 20.6 years of age. He averaged 20.1 points per game, and Ball dropped 2 spots largely because of the emergence of Morant and Young as 2 of the league's top point guards. Ball is still on track to develop into the potential superstar that we projected after a sensational sophomore campaign in which he improved in each major statistical category. Number 4, Trae Young, point guard for the Atlanta Hawks, 23.6 years of age. He averaged 28.4 points per game. Admittedly, we overthought Young's placement a year ago when he ranked 16th and wasn't higher than 14th on any individual ballot. The concern was how Young's size might limit him in the playoffs. Whoops, Atlanta unexpectedly reached the conference finals thanks to Young's playmaking verve. Coming in at number 3, Ja Morant, point guard for the Memphis Grizzlies, 22.7 years of age. He is averaging 27.4 points per game. Morant has made the biggest superstar leap in the NBA, climbing from 15th on this list to the number 3 spot while leading the run-and-gun Grizzlies to the second best record in the NBA at age 22. At this time last year, Morant was shooting just 25.4% from 3 and slotted behind De'Aaron Fox in the rankings. He's now a true face of the NBA and one of only 6 players to average at least 27 points and 6 assists. He has boosted his shooting to 34.4% from distance while terrorizing opposing defenses as one of the league's top paint scorers. Tomorrow, I'm going to have a lot more to say about Ja Morant and a few other players that are actually in the playoffs. I just can tell you this part right now. He is overrated on this list and on many other lists, and his importance to the Memphis Grizzlies is overrated as well. I will talk more about that tomorrow. Jason Tatum, small forward for the Boston Celtics, 24.1 years of age. He's averaging 26.9 points per game. We can't write an entire article on why Tatum is a franchise player. The forward has elevated himself from a personal all-star to now a player who will see his name on the all-star NBA team this year, while also receiving votes for MVP. Since the all-star break, Tatum is one of 3 players, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker the others, to average 30 points while shooting 50% from the field and 40% from the 3. Number 1, Luka Doncic, the point guard for the Dallas Mavericks. He's 23.1 years of age, 28.4 points per game. For the 3rd consecutive year, Doncic tops our list, albeit not unanimously this time around at 23. Luka still has another season of eligibility here before aging out. He has taken another step in his precocious development during year 4 in the NBA, leading the Mavericks to 50-plus wins for the first time since 2014-15, behind a career-high 37% usage rate. And that is the top 25 under 25 years of age in the NBA, according to the 4-Letter Network. And that is going to do it for today's show. A lot of NBA play-in action tonight. We'll talk about the results tomorrow. And I got a few more things I want to discuss tomorrow as well. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy those games. We'll talk about it tomorrow. This is Yay or Nay Show.